The sky was restless, heavy with swollen clouds that churned and clashed like warring titans. A storm had been brewing all day, and now, as night fell over the dense jungle, it finally unleashed its fury. The rain came down in sharp, icy sheets, drumming against the trees, and the wind howled like a chorus of unseen spirits. In the midst of this chaos, a little boy named Ion wandered through the jungle, lost and shivering. His small hands clutched his torn shirt tightly against his chest. He had strayed from his village while chasing after fireflies and had been swallowed by the vast darkness. Now, with thunder shaking the heavens, Ion realized just how far from home he truly was. But he was not alone. Somewhere in the distance, a sound pierced through the storm, a long, mournful howl that seemed to rise from the very bones of the earth. A wolf. Lightning split the sky, illuminating the thick jungle for a fleeting second. That was when Ion saw them, two glowing eyes staring back at him from the undergrowth. His heart thudded in his chest, louder than the storm itself. The wolf stepped forward, its silver gray, fur slick with rain. It was larger than any dog Ion had ever seen, its body rippling with power, its gaze ancient and unreadable. The boy froze, too terrified to breathe, but the wolf did not pounce. Instead, it tilted its head and let out another howl, long, haunting, and filled with something beyond hunger. It was a call, perhaps to its pack, or to the storm itself. Ion's knees trembled, yet some strange part of him felt the wolf was not there to harm him. The boy staggered backward, but the ground was slick with mud. He slipped, falling onto the wet earth. The wolf advanced, slow and deliberate, its paws barely making a sound despite its size. Ion closed his eyes, expecting sharp teeth and pain. Instead, he felt warm breath near his face. Opening his eyes, he saw the wolf standing over him, its nose twitching as it sniffed him curiously. It was close enough that Ion could see the scars along its muzzle, marks of battles fought long ago. The wolf turned its head toward the shadows of the jungle and growled, low and dangerous. That was when Ion realized the wolf was not his enemy. Something else lurked in the stormy night, watching them both. The jungle had grown unnervingly quiet, save for the hiss of rain and rumble of thunder. No frogs croaked, no insects buzzed, only silence, thick and heavy. Then a movement. Shapes slithered in the darkness. Yellow eyes blinked from the trees. Ion's breath caught. Wild dogs, feral and vicious, had caught his scent. Their growls vibrated in the night, sharp and hungry. Alone, the boy would never have stood a chance. But the wolf bared its fangs, standing like a guardian before him. Its growl was deep, primal, echoing with authority. The pack of dogs hesitated, circling warily. The storm raged on, but now Ion felt safer beside the lone wolf than he ever had in the quiet safety of his home. The feral dogs lunged, and the jungle erupted in chaos. Lightning lit the battlefield as the wolf leapt into action, a blur of teeth and muscle. Snarls and yelps tore through the storm as rain slicked the earth, turning the ground into a slippery stage for survival. Ion pressed himself against a tree, watching in terror and awe. The wolf fought like a storm-given flesh, its fangs flashing, its claws raking. But the dogs were many, and they attacked with desperation. At one moment, Ion thought the wolf might fall, but then it let out a howl so fierce, so commanding, that even the storm seemed to pause. The dogs scattered into the darkness, vanishing as quickly as they had appeared. The wolf stood panting, its fur matted with mud and blood, but its golden eyes still burned bright. For a long time, the boy and the wolf simply stared at each other. Ion's fear had melted into something else, gratitude, respect, even admiration. The wolf had risked its life to protect him. Slowly, hesitantly, Ion reached out his trembling hand. The wolf lowered its head, allowing the boy to touch its wet fur. In that moment, something unspoken passed between them. A bond formed not of words but survival, trust, and the wild language of the storm. The rain softened, becoming a drizzle. The wolf turned and began to walk through the trees, pausing to glance back at Ion. The boy understood. He followed. By the time the storm passed, the first light of dawn was spreading over the jungle. Birds began to sing cautiously, and mist curled around the trees like breath from the earth. Ion stumbled, weary but comforted by the silent presence of the wolf. At last, the boy recognized the trail, the path that led back to his village. From a distance, he saw smoke rising from chimneys and knew his family would be searching for him. He turned to thank the wolf, but the creature stood tall and proud, as if already knowing it could not follow him home. The wolf raised its head and let out one final, mournful howl before slipping back into the jungle shadows. Ion watched it disappear, his heart heavy yet full. Though the storm had separated him from home, it had given him something far greater, an unforgettable night of courage and a bond with the wild. From that day forward, whenever storms rolled over the jungle and wolves howled in the distance, Ion would smile, remembering the guardian who once stood by him in the darkest night.